Thomas adored the Christmas season. He was busier than ever, taking goods and passengers up and down his branch line. He loved seeing the smiling faces of the villagers. It even made the thought of wearing a snowplow more bearable. Well, almost. Annie and Clarabelle, on the other hand, had their quandaries with the holiday season. They liked helping the townsfolk, but they were older coaches and didn't fancy the hustle and bustle. Thomas tried to keep them in good spirits, but as the days ticked on, it became quite an ordeal. One morning close to Christmas, Clarabelle felt cantankerous.
Another parcel bag or box and I'll burst. Bother your boxes. My upholstery won't last till the new year if I have any more passengers.
Oh, come along, you two. Christmas Day is nearly here. We can't let the passengers down now.
It's all right for you. You've only your driver and fireman to carry. We're positively packed.
All day the grievances continued. Thomas tried everything. He stayed with the coaches between runs, kept them warm with his steam and listened intently to their complaints. Alas, nothing satisfied Annie and Clarabelle, and their foul mood was rubbing off on everyone. Even the trucks grumbled about them. Thomas was glad when he was called away to shunt at the big station. When he arrived, he confided to Edward.
I just don't understand. They've always been a bit put out around Christmas, but this takes the cake.
They're working very hard. I'd say it's made them lose sight of what Christmas truly means. And you know, I think I know how we can fix that.
As dusk fell, Thomas brought his last train to the big station. Annie and Clarabelle were glad to be finished for the day, or so they thought. Thomas was uncoupled and moved away. Suddenly, Annie could see Edward backing down towards them.
I say, Edward, you must be on the wrong platform.
On the contrary, I'm right where I need to be. The vicar is hosting a dinner at the church for those less fortunate. We have many volunteers and supplies to deliver, but we can't do it all ourselves.
That is where you two come in.
Annie and Clarabelle didn't know what to think. They were exhausted, but they knew it wasn't proper to complain about helping with such a cause. Quiet and reluctant, they followed Edward out of the station. As the evening crept on, a light snow fell. Edward made several stops, picking up more volunteers and supplies at each station. It wasn't long before the train was packed, and Annie and Clarabelle began to grumble.
Day and night, packed tight.
There is a time and place to consider our own needs before others. This is not one of them.
Annie and Clarabelle retired into a stone silence. When they arrived at the church, the coaches could hardly believe their eyes. Brilliant lights had been strung up, Christmas trees dotted the yard, and a large crowd had congregated outside. The volunteers spilled out of the compartments and eagerly unloaded supplies from Clarabelle. Soon the smell of food wafted from the church kitchen. The crowd worked their way inside, eager for a hearty meal. Annie and Clarabelle soon heard a lovely sound of carols and laughter. At the end of the night, the vicar spoke to Edward.
A most remarkable turnout. Bless you, Edward. Your help made this all possible.
Thank you, Your Reverence. But we couldn't have done it without Annie and Clarabelle. Their assistance was invaluable.
It was the least we could do. And we'd do it again in a wheel turn, wouldn't we, Annie? Indeed we would, Clarabelle.
One thing you can and should do is get some rest. Come on, let's get you back to the junction.
Thomas was asleep in the carriage shed when Edward brought the coaches back. He stirred as they were shunted alongside.
Well then, how was your extra work?
Simply marvelous.
Thomas chuckled, and the three friends fell contentedly to sleep.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.